He fell asleep in New Jersey before the bombs hit the ground. Broadcasting from a bomb shelter, he is the nuclear clown. I'm just going to be honest with everybody. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care how many movies they make, how many Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies they make. I will see them all. I don't care how bad they are. I don't care how flagrantly terrible they are. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me who's in them, or what they do in those movies. I will see them. All right, I will see them. I saw the first one, and okay, I talked about it on this podcast. I reviewed it. I saw the second one gleefully. I just went in there with the biggest smile on this hideous face that you could possibly imagine. And you'll say, Dave, these movies are awful and they're terrible. And, you wouldn't be wrong. You wouldn't be wrong at all. But I will be there. I will be there for you, Turtles. All the time. It stems back to my childhood of abuse. I don't know. I've always loved the Ninja Turtles, and I will see every movie. And then I'll come on here and cry about them to you. But we're here to talk about Ninja Turtles, the second one called Out of the Shadows. So let's get to that. Let's get to that, shall we? My spoiler-free review of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie 2, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I mean, it wasn't good, right? It's not good. It's not good. But was it better than the first one? To be completely honest with you, I don't remember jack shit about the first one. It was a couple years ago. I know I saw it. I know I reviewed it. I remember a giant car chase in the snow that just went on and on and on. And I was just like when I see big action scenes like that, nowadays anyway, I'm not talking about car chases in general. I'm just talking about these 10-minute long action scenes with shaky camera and just there's just stuff happening everywhere for absolutely no reason. I just zone out. I literally, I'm sitting there, I'm watching, but nothing's really catching in here because I know here that I'm watching a green screen of somebody with a camera following a river or something, and then it's just all Nick Arcade after that, and who cares? Who gives a shit? There's no investment in things like that. I think probably the last action chase scene that I cared about was Terminator 2, maybe. It's been a while. It's been a while since I really gave a shit about an action scene in a movie, but. The first one was whatever. I don't know. I mean, it was bad. Obviously, it was bad. And this one was bad, too. It was bad. But it was fun. It was a fun bad. And a lot of reviews are saying this. A lot of reviews are saying, well, it's better than the first one. It's still not good. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 30-something. Just awful. And deservedly so, I think. I don't think this movie's being unfairly judged. It's not good. It's not a good movie, but it is fun. It is fun, and that counts for something. But I don't think it counts for a lot of what I'm reading. If that makes any sense. Okay, hear me out. There's one. Well, that's my spoiler-free review. It sucked. I mean, you knew it sucked. Why are we here? This video is going to get 8 views. Normally I get 12 views or something like that. This is going to get 3. Because everybody's why watch an hour-long review and have to stare at this kid to talk about a movie that, everybody already knows sucks. And you're right. You're right about that. But there's something going on with this movie that I think is really interesting. It's almost as if, could be wrong, but it seems like people are kind of giving it a pass just because it's fun. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for fun movies. I think that recently all these dark, gritty films taking themselves too ultra seriously, it's stupid. It's dumb. I mean, we're talking about people in capes. We're talking about, Batman. We're talking about Superman. And we're talking about, stupid comic book shit. And people are trying to do this, like, gritty, real, like, no, it's not your dad's, Batman. This is like Goodfellas, but with, capes. I mean, come on. It's been how many years since they've been doing this? So I think it's time to kind of lighten up in a lot of ways with stuff like this. That being said, there's no rule that says just because something's lighthearted and just because something's not deathly serious, that doesn't mean it has to suck. And that doesn't mean that basic storytelling premises don't need to be followed. And a lot of the reviews that I'm looking at for the Ninja Turtles movie, and after seeing it myself, they're kind of like, well, it sucks, and you knew it was gonna suck, but it's fun, so I kind of enjoyed it, and that's good. But I don't think that's a pass. I don't think that's really an excuse. Like, you can have something that's lighthearted and fun and whimsical, and have it still be a good movie. Anybody see, The Princess Bride or anything like that? That's what I'm talking about, right? So I don't think coming on here and saying, well, it's goofy and silly and, it was fun, but, so you can overlook the bad parts. I don't really do that. I mean, yeah, so let's get into it now. This movie went full retard. It was like, I mean, they don't give a shit. They made this movie and they're like, we're doing Bebop and Rocksteady, we're doing fucking Krang, we're doing the Technodrome, we're doing it all. We're doing Casey Jones. I don't even care anymore, is what the people who did this movie said. And it is there. Sitting there watching this movie, I was completely ready to. I think I read something about there's a cameo by like the Rock Soldiers or whatever. Like, you see them frozen, and you see a couple of things frozen. In the one part where Shredder, whatever, where Krang just puts Shredder away and is like, yeah, whatever. But I wasn't paying attention. So I was half expecting. No, I wasn't half expecting. I was fully expecting to see the what are they? The neutrinos, the kids in the car with the liquid television hair. I was like, nothing's off limits here. They don't care. They don't care anymore. And I like that. I like that attitude because it's refreshing from, like I said, the dark, gritty, serious, oh my god, we're doing superhero movies with like this weight and this gravity to them now. And they're stupid. It's superhero movies. So anyway, I'm all for being lighthearted and being fun and being bright and being colorful. But again, there's no reason why that can't be a good film. And there's no reason why that can't be a good story. And this movie isn't a good story, obviously, you know that. But so let's get into some specifics. Again, I talked about this in the last Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles review I did. Splinter's voice. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Master Splinter, he's got the whole Yoda thing going on where, his voice, he's the sensei, he's the master. That wisdom should convey in his voice. But the voice for Splinter is like, hey guys, what's up? Yo, Turtles, what's the haps? It's the worst. It's terrible. There's nothing. Actually, the voice I just did has more charisma than the actual Splinter voice. It's puzzling. It's baffling to me. But anyway, I already said that about the first one, and I assume they use the same guy. But anyway, the story of this movie is shit. What is the story of this movie? Okay, April O'Neil is following around Baxter Stockman. Awesome. Baxter Stockman's in this. And Baxter Stockman, she discovers, is working for Shredder. Why? What's he doing working for Shredder? I don't fucking know. Like, okay, what's the link? Why is Baxter Stockman working for Shredder? What is he doing? Like, it's kind of like, oh my god, Baxter Stockman, he's on Shredder's payroll. Schoolgirl outfit is what April O'Neil does. And Baxter Stockman, by the way, played by Tyler Perry. I don't really care when movies do what's the word? This sounds so this sounds so un-PC, but like race swapping. I don't know. Like Baxter Stockman in the cartoon is like a nerdy white boy, and they pick Tyler Perry to be Baxter Stockman in the movie. Personally, I don't give a shit. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me really. I think Tyler Perry he's supposed to be like nerdy Baxter Stockman, and guess what? He's nerdy Baxter Stockman. But I couldn't help but see the correlation and the parallels. It couldn't have been just me. This was pretty obvious to me that they were going for like a Neil deGrasse Tyson Baxter Stockman, which I thought was funny. Like I thought that was a cool. I think it works. I think it works is what I'm going to say. The acting and the performance. I mean, you know, nothing in this movie is really above competent. I think with the exception of, surprisingly enough, why did I say it? Surprisingly enough, it was like a Sean Connery kind of voice, raise a little bit. Surprisingly enough, but Sheamus, the wrestler. You know, it's bad news when the guy I see on TV throwing people around in his draws is like the shining acting light in a film. Well, compared to all the other humans, anyway. Not talking about CGI people and all that stuff, but he was noticeable, like Bebop and Rocksteady, both of them together in their human forms and stuff, were noticeably like the best actors in this movie. And that's real bad. Like that, look, he did a fine job for somebody who's, you know, never been in a movie or anything and is a pro wrestler. But to outshine literally everyone in this movie, that's not good. That's not a good thing for me to say. But anyway, yeah, so Baxter Stockman, he's working for Shredder, April O'Neil, schoolgirl outfit. And Shredder's going to bust out of prison. So the Turtles have to stop him. They use like a teleporting machine to try to suck Shredder away in his big escape. And then he ends up like getting hijacked into Krang's dimension. And then Krang literally, it was like an accident. At least I think it was. I don't know. But Krang sucks Shredder into his Technodrome dimension thing and sees him and he's like, "You there! Let me tell you my plan. First, I'll do this, and this. I sent this weird alien probe thing. It's smashed into 3 pieces, and I want you to recover them. I don't know who you are. I do not care. I task you with this." And Shredder's like, "In return, I want you to kill some, fucking turtles for me." And Krang's like, "All right. Pound it." And then that's like the extent of their deal. It literally was like Shredder shows up. Krang's like, "What? Who are you? What are you doing in my house? Wait, sit down. Let me tell you my plan." And it happens like that. It is the fastest bit of narration that I've ever seen, where it's just like, you there. Here's my master plan. Help me. Be my henchman. Yes. Good. Okay, you're back. It was less than a minute, and it shouldn't have been. I would have even have settled for, if they didn't even show that part, and if they said, if they just alluded like, "Oh, Shredder, he's been talking with some of the Foot Clan guys or whatever are talking," or even, I don't know, whatever, somebody in his organization, they're just talking about like, "Oh, ever since Master Shredder found this strange artifact, he's been communicating with this being from another place, and who knows, blah, blah, blah." Leave it mysterious like that. I don't care. It's fucking Shredder and Krang. I get it. Just get them together. Yeah, it would have been nice to have that done with, like, storytelling panache and all that, but it's a Ninja Turtles movie. So it was just kind of interesting to me that they literally, it was less than a minute of them meeting, and then Krang was just like, "Good, we're set. Let's roll here." and he sends Shredder back. Krang looked awesome. I love his big robot guy. I'm giddy that they had him in it. It would have been pretty cool, I think, if this is me nitpicking, but I think it would have been really neat if Krang starts out as just the brain, and then he gets beat up or something, and then he's building the body, and then at the end of the movie, it's the big reveal with him in the big suit. That would have been pretty cool. But I love that they put that in there. And I love the way I think Krang looked really cool, for like a giant CGI. Not real thing anyway. I was just delighted he was in it. I don't know. They even did the voice thing. Like, Krang's voice was kind of just like a normal guy, but every now and again he'd throw in like that the weird shit Krang used to do. And when I first heard him talk, I thought it was pretty interesting because it was pretty normal. They played Krang's voice pretty straight. And I get why, because if, you've seen the cartoons, you know what Krang's voice sounds like. His voice is really annoying. It's a really obnoxious voice, and putting that in a movie for extended periods of time, no good. So I get that. I understand why the voice is like Dave with an occasional or whatever. Actually, I do that, but those are my insides churning. But the Splinter voice is just unforgivable. I don't know how anybody could let that slide. But so I liked Krang. I did like Krang. I love that he was in this movie. I love that they went that way. So that whole kind of like, I don't know, Batman 1966, like, yeah, we're doing it. This is Ninja Turtles, Krang, Technodrome, Bebop, Rocksteady. It's all there. And I like that. I do like that. Speaking of which, Bebop and Rocksteady, they were awesome. They were just like I wanted them to be. And I don't know, I kind of feel weird saying this. Like, we've come to a point where my expectations are so low that I have to throw out compliments like this. But the fact that whoever made this movie took Bebop and Rocksteady, the characters from the cartoons and stuff, and literally translated, like, they look pretty much exactly like they do in the cartoons. Like, the outfits, the general look, it's them. It's Bebop and Rocksteady. I don't know, Spider-Man, whatever. I didn't see it, but I saw previews where, like, Electro is Jamie Foxx, and he's a guy in a hoodie, and Rhino's a fucking robot, and shit like that. Like, everybody's trying to reinvent all this stuff, and the new Star Trek movie with just these wacko stupid aliens with just like, look, it's a guy and he's got writing all over his fucking face, and I don't know, whatever. It's nice to see a movie that's based on something else that's like, no, we're just gonna take the fucking character and put him in the movie, and he's gonna look like he does in the cartoon. We're not gonna make it, we're going to blow your mind with our rendition of Bebop and Rocksteady. No, it's just them. It's just them. They look like they do in the cartoon, and I'm fine with that. I prefer that, and I admire that the people who did this film were like, no, let's keep it the way it was in the cartoon. I don't know. I thought that was pretty neat. Something I noticed about this film, there's like 5 Foot Clan guys, like the ninjas, the peons or whatever. I don't know, for a ninja clan, a criminal syndicate, it seemed to me like Shredder had like maybe 3 or 4 hench guys, and that was, I don't know, thought that was weird. Speaking of Shredder, 0 charisma. The actor has nothing. The actor is a walking corpse, and there's nothing there. There's nothing to him. And I guess in this movie, Shredder is very minimalized because he's Krang's pawn, pretty much. He's doing Krang's bidding on Earth. Then when Krang brings the Technodrome into the Earth realm or whatever, this dimension, Shredder's like, cool, now give me some money or whatever. Make me a sandwich like you promised you would. And then Krang's like, go fuck yourself. I'm here now. Bye. And he just like freezes Shredder and throws him in the Technodrome somewhere for, the third movie that I will go see. Duh. And So I guess I can't really complain too much about Shredder, because Shredder was more like a means to an end for Krang. He wasn't really the bad guy, but it would have been nice for Shredder to have a cool moment in this, and I don't think he really did. I don't think there was a cool villainous moment for Shredder in the entire film. In fact, I think they missed a bunch of opportunities to make Shredder do something, I don't know, a little bit cool. And that kind of made me sad. Like, for example, he double crosses Baxter Stockman, I guess. When Baxter Stockman's like, "It's happening, Shredder. We're gonna rule the world. Blah blah blah. I'm a crazy nerd." And then Shredder's like, "No, you will be forgotten. Your legacy will be nothing. We're gonna take you to our hidden hideout, and I don't know what we're gonna do to you. We're gonna film Cosmos with you." And then Shredder actually says, and I was so waiting for it. He goes, "Baxter Stockman, your legacy will be nothing. You will be remembered as," and then like the camera zooms in all dramatic, and I was gonna say, he's gonna say an insect. He's gonna be like, "You will be remembered as nothing. You are an insect." And then they drag Baxter off, and he's like, "No." But Shredder doesn't say insect. He's like, your legacy will be remembered as fucking nothing. Or so he says something that wasn't insect, and I went, how do you miss that? How the fuck do you miss that? I mean, obviously, Shredder's not like, "Yeah, I'm going to turn him into a fucking bug and it's going to be awesome." But, I mean, insect, inconsequential. I can't speak. You're nothing. Your legacy is nothing. Say insect. It's foreshadowing. It's cool. Everybody in the crowd would go, "He said it. He said it. It's Baxter Stockman, bug." Nothing. So they drag Baxter Stockman off. I can only assume for the third part in this trilogy that I will be right first in line every time. Ninja Turtles movie. That's me. But anyway, yeah. Casey Jones. We have to have a nice long talk about Casey Jones. The guy who plays Casey Jones is the guy who plays Green Arrow in the Arrow show. I don't care. I don't watch it. I never will watch it. I don't give a shit. I'm all booked up on superheroes. Sorry, I don't have time for like D-list DC guys like Green Arrow. Oh, that was harsh, I guess. But bow and arrow people, and we're reading about superheroes, and bro's got a bow. So him, Hawkeye, but at least like Green Arrow, doesn't he have some kind of magic power? Like, aren't his arrows like magic at least? Where Hawkeye's just a fucking guy. I don't know why I can't do a review without being mad at Hawkeye for some reason. It's just I need a therapist is what I need. But Casey Jones. I love Casey Jones. I loved him in the original cartoon. I love Casey Jones in the old Ninja Turtles movie from like 91, the early 90s. I loved Casey Jones. Casey Jones is my jam. All right. And in this movie, they turn Casey Jones into a boring motherfucking like bumbling, stumbling comic relief. He's a cop sent to deliver Shredder. He's like one of the guards in Shredder's kind of caravan taking him to prison. And Shredder escapes, so he's already a fuck up. And then on the side, he's a vigilante in a hockey mask. Now, Casey Jones, for those of you playing at home, is like Batman who shops at Modell's. And it's a vigilante who uses like sports stuff. Baseball bats, croquet mallets, hockey sticks. And he has a big duffel bag filled with this shit that he mercilessly beats criminals with. I can't explain how much cooler I can make this, right? And he wears a hockey mask and stuff. And Casey Jones, he's a fucking badass. In the cartoons, he's like the Batman of the show. He's the grim, dark guy in this fucking wacko. He's got the gravelly, deep voice, and he wears the hockey mask, and he's scary looking, and he beats everybody up, and he's the badass, right? and the Ninja Turtles are like the funny hee hee ha ha comedy relief because they're fucking turtles, right? It worked. It worked in the cartoon. At least it worked on me. I was like, yay! It did not work in the movie because they made Casey Jones a fucking lovable dope. And you don't make Casey Jones a lovable dope. Alright? You have 4 lovable dopes in the Ninja Turtles because they're turtles. Get it? Casey Jones is like the serious one. The I will fucking harm you guy. Right? And when they turn him into a bumbling, stumbling idiot, it sucks. And the guy who played him, the Arrow guy, just nothing. Not just amateur hour at acting school, community theater, all the way. You know what? Guy who stars in Arrow, you could probably take some acting lessons from the wrestler guy who's never done this shit before, and that's kind of saying something. And I don't know, just I didn't like anything about Casey Jones. Like the mask was okay, but it was too big. He looked kind of goofy when he wore it. And they dumbed him down. I mean, he went from like the sports guy who used all kinds of sports shit to beat people up to just hockey. Casey Jones had a mask and a hockey stick and like some pucks he would throw at people. That's it. There's no... Alright, I'm picturing Casey Jones in a 2016 movie, right? I'm picturing like some... I don't know, some funky Mad Max looking like football armor, almost, you know, like a shoulder pad or something that's kind of all decked out and looks like shitty, but you know, like custom football shoulder pad or something like that, just one, and you know, he could look so crazy and so awesome. And they just went, nah, hockey mask, hockey stick, we're good here. Next. He doesn't really do anything. He's just there, and it sucks. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I was excited as shit that he was in the movie, but you could do more. You could just do more with him. And he has like he looks like everybody else. Close your eyes. Think of you know, like buff male guy, good looking kind of man, and it's him. It's the same guy, the short buzzed hair. There's nothing at all that stands out about this gentleman, and it's upsetting. It's absurd because Casey Jones stands the fuck out, and they somehow managed to make Casey Jones boring. Casey Jones was the grim counterpoint to the Turtles' kookiness, and it worked because like. He's kind of kooky himself. He's a fucking sports vigilante, right? But it works. I don't understand how or why, but it does. And in the movie, they just said, well, he's in there. Dave will be happy. I am happy that he's there, but they could have done so much more. It was a missed opportunity. But anyway, the movie, I mean, what's there to say? I just want to talk about Ninja Turtles is really all I want to do. Megan Fox is April O'Neil. I talked about this before. She's just like a mindless real doll. Like just there's no soul there. She looks like a young Joan Rivers, like just like a fake. She looks like a CGI person. It's just like CGI of random hot girl. Yeah, it's good enough. Put her in a movie. We're good. She'll make a good April, right? And she totally doesn't. Where's Irma, by the way? I want nerdy Irma, April's roommate. Disturbing things going on in here. But so the Turtles, they want to go live normal lives, they want to get married, they want a family, and they can't, so Krang gives Shredder some mutagen stuff to make Bebop and Rocksteady. And he does that, and then the Turtles get some, and they're like, oh, Donatello says, oh, smart guy stuff, and if I could reverse the hookoo blah blah blah, we could be humans again. We can be humans just for one day. So, it's kind of like a big divisive issue among the Turtles. Do we want to do this? Do we want to keep being what we are or whatnot? Do we want 5 fingers to masturbate fully? Or is the big 2 clunky jerk-off thing, is that working for us? So, at the end, they decide that they want to be Turtles. Because if they become 4 guys from Long Island with 5 fingers, nobody's going to be interested in a 3rd movie. So, that's pretty much what they do. So they smash the mutagen. I don't know why. They might want to hold on to that. It could be... like, why? All right, if you're not going to use it, fine, but don't just throw it. Don't just get rid of it. I mean, Donatello could probably work on a cure. Because if Shredder's going around making, like, Bebop and Rocksteady people, if they had the actual mutagen, Donatello could make, like, an antidote from it, right? Or you could just flush it down the fucking toilet. Oh, all right. If that's your deal. Raphael, my favorite Ninja Turtle. He's always been my favorite. It was awesome in this. Again, just fantastic. One thing that kind of disappointed me. I remember in the first one, I talked specifically about how every turtle had their own look to them and the style to them. Because in the cartoon, they all looked exactly the same, except the colors were different and stuff. And they really, I think, did a great job in the first one with designing the characters so that they're different. Just the way they physically look. It's not just a Scorpion Sub-Zero x4 deal where it's just different colored masks and stuff like that. Like, Leonardo had the cool fucking samurai looking crappy Fallout armor umpires thing he had. I don't know what it's called. And Michelangelo had like the Buddha beads or whatever the fuck. And they got rid of Leonardo's thingy. I was like, they changed his outfit. I love that. I love the samurai look thing he had kind of going. It was cool. It was subtle. It was a subtle little thing to set him apart, and they just dumped it. And I don't really know why. Not a huge deal, but something I noticed. I'm desperately trying to think of something to talk about with this movie, and it's very hard. So I think that's it. We're done. What is this? How long have we been going? 31 minutes? Ooh, you got off easy this time. I have literally nothing to say about this movie. It was bad. I know. It was a bad film, right? I got a huge kick out of seeing Krang. I got a huge kick out of seeing Bebop and Rocksteady. Loved that Baxter Stockman was in it. I don't mind that they didn't... it would have been overkill to introduce Baxter Stockman, turn him into the Fly thing in, already. I like that they're taking their time. They're introducing characters, and then the next one, they'll do whatever. I want a fucking Rat King movie. Rat King is my favorite Ninja Turtles villain of all time. Please, do Rat King and ruin him, because I know you will, but I'll be so happy that you thought of me. It's like the Casey Jones thing. Yeah, it sucks what they did to him, but I'm glad he's there. Like, every time he showed up in the mask, that one time he did in the movie, I smiled. And then I cried. So, I'm feeling very strange about this film. Did I like it? Was it good? No. Did I have fun? Yeah, it was nice to see all that shit. It was nice to see something different. But I can't help but think it could have been actually good. Well, maybe not, because Megan Fox is like, you've already dug a pretty big hole, and the first one set you back. The first one set you back quite a while. There's the whole Splinter's voice fiasco. Shredder's not really doing much. But I mean, fun doth not mean incompetent, if that makes any sense. So Ninja Turtles. Irma. Where's Irma? Somebody give me Irma, because I like to prey on nerdy girls. Because they can't possibly hope to stop me. I wanna tell you one part though. This drives me nuts. I got this right from Wikipedia. So what happens is, in the movie, they save the city. No, I'll read you. Okay, this is from Wikipedia. All right. The end of the movie. The Turtles are honored by Vincent and the NYPD, along with April, Casey, and Vern, but elect to keep their existence a secret from the public at large. You got that? At the end of the movie, they have their big Star Wars coming out party, right? The whole New Hope thing where they're all standing there and the cops are all lined up in rows on Yavin 4. And then, Mon Mothma's like, oh, Ninja Turtles, you've saved the fucking day. And you rock and you're cool. And that's great. They're outside They're outside. Ninja Turtles, right there. And then the Ninja Turtles are like, this is great, but we belong in the shadows. Let's go, guys. Fuck this noise. After they already have been seen in broad daylight and pretty much announced their presence to the world, you can't go back. Nobody's gonna forget this. And all right, let me read it again. The Turtles are honored by Vincent and the NYPD along with April, Casey, and Vern, but elect to keep their existence a secret from the public at large. You're having a ceremony outside in public. You were out in broad daylight. Everybody saw you. You announced yourself to the world. You don't get to take that back. That's not being a ninja. That's being a fucking wizard. Okay? And in the third one, which I will be first online for, in case you didn't pick that up already, I really hope they don't do the whole, like, they're still in the secretive turtle. Like, you guys, you're already on YouTube. It's over. Like, it's over. The whole secrecy thing, you know, being a ninja. If you go on YouTube right now and you type in ninja, YouTube ninja, I guarantee you what you see isn't a real ninja. Because a real, the whole, like, don't be seen thing, that's kind of part of the whole ninja thing. Not like, let's go make YouTube videos now. I'm not a ninja. No, I'm like a Krang is what I'm like. I'm very similar looking to Krang. And we have similar motives, I guess you could say. But a ninja I ain't. And I just, that bothers me. Like, you can't, I'm sitting there and they literally, I'm like, well, they can't fucking go back now. And then they're like, we need to go back. We belong in the sewers. Let's go, guys. Everyone, humans, forget. And then everybody's like, oh, what, turtle? So in closing, if Sheamus is nominated for an Academy Award, I kind of think he should get it. Though Hulk Hogan and the Junkyard Dog did put in some good performances in their films as well. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough on Oscar night. Let me tell you.